Hello everybody, my name is Andrea Tocchetti. I am a PhD student at Politecnico di Milano. I do research on explainable AI, but I do also enjoy researching on other topics, like for example, empathy and gamification. This is why I'm here today to present you my article, My Lockdown Escape, a data collection approach based on gamification and crowdsourcing for subjective perspectives, self-empathy, and memories about past experiences. I would also like to thank my colleagues Silvia Maria Talenti and Marco Brambilla, who contributed to the work. I would also like to point out a very important thing, for which I would like you to also attend the main presentation during the workshop, which is the fact that today I will not present to you the whole work, but I will just focus on the application and the approach that we designed to have people empathize with their past selves, mainly during the COVID pandemic, through gamification and gameful design. In this case, we applied the storytelling design pattern and also the escape room design pattern. And we wanted people to empathize with their past selves, to remember how they felt, and then collect data and thoughts about that times. Of course, we focus on COVID-19, since even though it just has passed, it's something very recent on which the research community is still interested about. Now, our application is a hybrid application, and it includes physical assets as well as digital ones. Regarding the physical assets, we have two different kinds of assets. On one side, we have cards. In particular, we have 8 decks of cards on top, which are the decks that are required for the first part of the experience. And then we have 2 decks at the bottom, which are required for the second part of the experience. On the right instead, we have the second physical asset, which is a board on which the cards will be placed after the user have interacted with them. As for the digital asset, we have an application, and this application basically will guide the user throughout the whole experience. Now, regarding the first part of the game, the user is asked, first of all, to set up the board. Now, as you can see on the left, there are a lot of options, a lot of settings to be done before starting. Although on the right side, as you can see in the picture, only the top part of the board is set up. The reason why we do not do the whole setup is because I would like to focus on one step at a time. Indeed, on the right, I only focus on the first part of the experience involving the top part of the board. Hence, as you can see, the 8 decks that are included in the top part of the board will be the ones that the user will interact with during the first part of the application. Before starting with the actual experience, the user is asked for some data that will be used for profiling and for data analysis purposes. Of course, everything is anonymized and the user can opt out at any moment. Then they're asked to either customize their avatar card, which is the green card that you can see on the in the picture on the right, which is the one with the outline of a person, to customize it and place it on the board and upload the picture of the card within the application, or to choose a default avatar. If a default avatar is chosen, their corresponding card is placed on the board. Now, the user is asked to read the story and complete the story by using one of the cards. So, for example, on the left, we have the second step, the step in which the user has to select the picture displaying how they felt. In this case, we have a text describing it. You wish to go outside but can't. It is not possible due to the restrictions. Looking around, your attention is drawn to the artwork you hung a few years ago. It expresses precisely how you feel right now. What does it look like? So the user is asked to choose a card from the picture deck, whose preview is provided on the left, to scan it using their mobile phone camera, or in general to display it on a camera. And by reading the QR code, the system stores their answer and provides them with questions and provides us with some data about how the user felt during that period. The user keeps playing the first part of the game until their lockdown room is set up. This is, just like I said earlier, done by basically having the user to complete and customize their story that describes their life during the pandemic. After the user is completed their lockdown room, they can move on with the second part of the activity. The second part of the activity involves the bottom part of the board. The user has to shuffle the object cards, which are the cards representing the items that the user interacted with during the pandemic, create 3 different piles, and then place a randomly chosen container card on top of each other. These containers cards represent the items that stashed the items during the pandemic. Then the user is asked to uncover the items one by one in order to find all the items they need to escape their lockdown room and walk out of the room to go to the real world. In this case, we selected 3 items which were essential during the pandemic, which were a mask, a hand sanitizer, and a green pass. The user can proceed to uncover the items by scanning the top card of a deck and by answering a question that is then provided. As soon as the question is answered, for example, here on the bottom right, we have an example like your fridge is empty, it's time for you to go to the supermarket. How do you feel? And we have 3 answers. I can finally leave the house. As long as people wear masks and gloves, it's okay. I don't like it. There are too many people. So these are the kind of questions that we want users to reply to. For example, in the top left, as you can see, we have a player who answered to all the questions and uncovered all the items in the central pile, while it's still going on with the other 2. Whenever an item is uncovered and a question is answered, they can place it on the bottom part of the board. Whenever the user has found the 3 core items that we described before, the user can either keep playing the game or they can escape the lockdown room. If they want to escape the lockdown room, they can basically press the corresponding button that will appear on the application, and they will be provided with their story. Their story is basically a template of the story that they were provided during the first part of the game, that is filled with the choices that they made. For example, as you can see on the left, you take a look around you and you see that you're surrounded by parents. So this is what the people that the user was surrounded by and that shared with which the user shared their experiences during the pandemic. So on and so forth for the whole story. At the end, the users can share their story, they can download it, and then compare it with the other people. So this was all for the application. I hope that you can attend the presentation at the workshop so that I can tell you more about it. And thank you for your attention. See you soon.